Okay. Last time I completed the 4 sets 1, 2, 3, 4. In this set, I would call it set number 4, set number 5, A and B. So the question arises is, this is A, y inverse hyperbolic sine function, this equals ln of x plus square root of x squared plus 1. So the question is why? So let's begin with the hyperbolic sine function, that is, let's call it y equals sine hyperbolic function x. So what is the definition of, so I will begin with the definition. So y is sine hyperbolic function x is e raised to x minus e raised to minus x divided by 2. Okay, that's the first step. Now in order to figure out the inverse function, this one inverse, first step is replace x by y. So just swap the x and y. So this is the same as, if I want to know what is the inverse of 2x minus 3, the new function will be, or the inverse function, if this is f of x, then the gx, which gives you back the answer, is, instead of subtracting, you'll have to add something to it, and then instead of multiplying, you divide and get a new function. So this all is y equals x plus 3 divided by 2. So basically what you do is you just replace this x and y, and then you solve for y, and then you get this. The same idea is extended right here, is you replace x and y, so this will be x equals e raised to y minus e raised to minus y divided by. So far so good. Now multiply to both sides. So there is a 2 here. So multiply to this side, multiply to this side. So I'm going to skip one step here so that I have enough room here. So this 2 crosses out, and what I left is 2x equals e raised to y minus e raised to minus. Now, next step is, somehow our goal is to get a quadratic form. So can we get a quadratic form this way? So if we get a quadratic form, we know the quadratic formula, and we can easily use this one and get it. Let's check. So in order to do this, there's a e raised to minus y. So divide e raised to minus y, all the terms. So this is possible because e raised to minus y is an exponential function, term which is positive, so you can easily divide this. So this crosses out. Okay, that will be 1. At the same time, we will use the negative exponent property. So what is negative exponent property is, if we have a raised to minus b, laws of exponents is plus b. So this is what we'll do here. This is e raised to minus 1. So e raised to, this will go up. So in the numerator it will be e raised to y. This will go up in the numerator, but there is already another e raised to y. So e raised to y times e raised to y, and this is minus 1. This will be together 2 of them. Instead of e raised to y, it is 2y. So it is 2y minus 1. Get everything on one side. So subtract 2x e raised to y both sides. And get, so this will cross out and get a 0 on the left. So that will be 0. This term e raised to 2y will use a raised to mn, e raised to m, power of power property, right? So this too, because the goal is to get a quadratic form. So I'm going to write this as y, e raised to y, and the whole, this is multiplied, there you go. This is m, I can take this out, so this is the same as e raised to y, and then square. This red color stays the same, raised to y and then the minus 1. So far so good. Okay. So this part, instead of e raised to y, let's replace e raised to y with another variable, that's p. So this whole thing reduces to p squared minus 2xp, and this minus 1 equals 0. So and we can use the quadratic formula, that is x squared, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Use the quadratic formula, minus 4ac, and all this divided by 2a. Now what is a and b and c here? Now the a is 1, the b is this part, minus 2x, this is b, and the c is this one. C is minus 1. So in the variable x that we use right here, this is no more x, x is p right here. So it's going to be p equals negative of b, that's the opposite of this minus, which is plus 2x. Then plus or minus square root. Square this, which is 4x squared, negative 2x is 4x minus 4 times a is 1, c is 1, c is negative 1, I'm sorry, and 2 times the a, which is also 1. Okay, now let's see. Replace at the same time. Let's replace p is replace back whatever the value is. So we did substitute e raised to y is p, so just replace it. So e raised to y is to x, and remember now this is very important. This is an exponential term. An exponential term is always positive, right? So this part we are going to take positive here, plus sign. So square root. And this this negative will change to positive. And at the same time, you do see that there's a 4 which is multiplied both places. So we can undo that 4 and write down x squared, negative, positive 1, and divide by 2. I hope that helps. Now, next step is and you can see this square root of 4 is going to be 2, and there is a 2 right here. So this 2 divides this 2, and also, so straight away we can cross out this 4. So what I left is e raised to y is x plus, and then change from exponential to logarithm form. By definition of logs, the definition of logarithm is, if e raised to y is that, then we say y equals, this y equals ln of this x plus x squared plus 1 plus. So this is what you get. That means the new function, the inverse function, remember, so we started with, let's see, it was f of x was sine inverse hyperbolic function, sine function. It was this one. We wanted to know this was given to us. Let's say this was given, and we wanted to figure out what this was e raised to x e raised to minus x divided by 2. That was the thing, and now we got the inverse, the gx kind of a thing. So this is like a new function gx. And that new function gx, okay, we call it, is nothing but inverse hyperbolic sine function. That means it is sine, and that's the. So watch this out. So this is a nice proof. As y sine inverse hyperbolic 1 is ln of x plus. And one more thing is, what changes is, if this formula So in this example, if this was sine hyperbolic, let's say, if the y is sine of hyperbolic of x over a, then the inverse function will be, so if this is the one, then the inverse will be sine inverse hyperbolic of this is almost the same thing, but you get ln of x plus square root of x squared plus a squared and minus ln of. Is that okay? So hope this helps. So because in this example, it's x over 1, right? So we did take this was x over 1, and that's why you see it's divided by 1, and there's minus. If I write this ln of a, which is 1, and ln of this is 0, so you don't have to write down. But if it is something different, then that's how the formula works. This is if it is x by a. If it is sine of hyperbolic x by a, then the inverse function is this one. Hope that helps. So now why is this needed is because in the sine inverse hyperbolic function here, remember whenever square root of 1 over this part, it was written ln of x plus this minus ln of a, which is same thing right here. It is connected right here. There you go, look at this. So in the next video, I'm going to show about if the function is cosine hyperbolic function x, then what is cosine hyperbolic inverse of x? So the next video I will also show this. Let's see what to. Hope this helps. Thank you for watching. I'll keep watching because I want to show how this formula exists. Bye.